Hey guys, it's your boy Kenny Boulder with another Pokemon video, and today we're discussing something that I think needs to be addressed, is the state of the Pokemon hobby, the current direction of the Pokemon hobby, and what's going to be happening with the Pokemon hobby in 2025. To be honest with you, I've been covering Pokemon cards since 2020. For me, this has been watching a lot in the past few years. And to be blunt, the last few months have been brutal. I think the last few months have really captured the growing sense of bad. And I think a lot of us recognize that the hobby right now is not ideal. It's not sustainable. It's really pushing a lot of the collectors, the casual, average fans out. And we just have to talk about this because this is one of those moments where we have to reflect and see, like, where do we want this hobby to go? And right now, the Pokemon Center, in my opinion, has tried to meet the demand, but the scarcity, the investor bros, the scalpers, the resellers, it just has made it incredibly unbearable with the Pokemon hobby. And I've seen the worst, honestly, out of people, and I think that the videos that I highlight, the things that I do, are pretty negative, and I recognize that maybe it isn't as positive as other content creators, but I've seen a growing sense of, like, there's more bad content than good content. And that means that, like, good content is Pokemon, card openings, enjoying Pokemon, enjoying the hobby. Now we're seeing just constant scalpers, people trying to flip money, people who want to make money off Pokemon cards, people who want to maximize profits Pokemon cards, people who think Pokemon cards is considered an asset or like a way to make money. And I think that's where we've lost our vision. We've lost what it is that brings joy to Pokemon, and it's just getting worse and worse. And so I have a couple posts that I kind of want to cover real quick. Prismatic Super Collection Box is to be the most scalped Pokemon item of all time. 700 listings on eBay, 100 listings on TCG Player, and countless Facebook Market posts. Saw one say have 50 plus available, $250 firm, slight discount of buying 5 plus. Things have gotten way out of hand. Comments. I don't get which suckers are still wanting to open Prismatic. I opened a few ETBs and the pull rates were so bad I'm done. Even at retail they didn't seem worth it. Remember, for only the price of 2 scalp SPCs, you can get an entire Japanese terrestrial evolutions. I have never even seen a single product in the wild. The distribution is the problem. I just want a free EV promo and thank goodness that is not dropping. Sucks. Anyway, I'm having a fine time buying singles online while sitting at home. No lines, no shitty rips, no hassle. Prices for the new cards are higher than I expect, probably due to the hype wave. So I'll wait on those ones for a bit. It sucks that this is happening again, but this is a history lesson. The Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection was like $300, $400 on release and served the same kind of problems. It was impossible to find in person and pre-order online. So it's not the worst, but still bad. So, I was there in 2021 and 2022 when Celebrations came out for the 25th anniversary. And I want to emphasize this. It is worse than Celebrations. And I say this because you have people waiting in line for more than 24 hours. You have people who are in line for like multiple days. And for the most part, I think people who never they were in the hobby back then. And, when I was doing my Pokemon restock videos in the early days, I was the only Pokemon guy. And at the time in 2020 and 2021, it was mostly sport card guys. The sport card market was super inflated and people were going crazy for sports cards. And so for me, seeing the transition from sports cards to Pokemon cards is kind of like, this realization that, the hobby has been kind of shifting towards a seller's market, so to speak. I think buyers, consumers, are definitely getting screwed over by the Pokemon company and by this current market. I think people who just want to buy and rip, they're the ones who are suffering the most. And I do want to have to pin the blame a little bit on the Pokemon hype for Prismatic Evolutions. Prismatic Evolutions, in my opinion, is overhyped. And obviously, we all know the pull rates are horrible. And if you're watching these videos, this is not surprising. This is old news. But this has to be taking some of the blame for the current state of the hobby. Because, before Prismatic Evolutions, yeah, 151 was bonkers too. But I feel like Prismatic Evolutions really became, like, just insanity. And I get it. Distant Rivals comes out soon. And I'm sure we're going to see a lot of, content and materials of people losing their minds over Distant Rivals. But I feel like Prismatic Evolutions has really made the bar. And don't get me wrong, I've seen the hype sets before. I've seen Hidden Fates. I've seen early Shining Fates. I remember those days as well. And then they got Print to Oblivion. And of course, we all know about Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies definitely, blew up like a rocket ship and then just escalated more and more. And now people are like going bonkers over like booster boxes from Evolving Skies. So I don't know. This is a hard video for me to make because we're talking about the state of the hobby. And the state of the hobby, and this is another one I posted, I saw about, is where are we headed as a hobby? This post inspired me to make this video. One thing I really talk about in the TCG community is just how entrenched scalping has become in the Pokemon hobby. It went from being a sideshow with blooming waters, hype, etc. to a full-blown chaos with Prismatic Evolutions. An army of degens check Discords all day looking for drops, stock stores for product, basically live and breathe acquiring cards at MSRP. Kind of insane in retrospect how deep some people are all in it. Mods will probably delete this post, but I do believe a mental... Okay, maybe not forever, but right now it's bad. The full daily obsession with cards is extreme, not normal at all. Even from a long-term collecting standpoint, you have to be worried about things are getting out of control in the worst way possible. Print shortages and greed have become a permanent feature of the Pokemon experience, from which a branding perspective has to be toxic. Especially for the next generation who will grow up never seeing cards on shelves because a bunch of older guys have hoarded or scalped all the products into existence. Sad future we're heading towards. One thing I really see about the TCG community is how entrenched scalping has become. That's 3/5 of the posts here. Scarlet and Violet is actually the most popular Pokemon gen since its original. The actual game itself is one of the top-selling Pokemon games of all time. I think for sure there'll be nostalgia towards this gen down the lane. Really see this talked a lot about this. This too shall pass. Are you new here? 70% of the subs is complaining about scalpers. I want to emphasize this. This post is indeed all over Pokemon TCG. I think a lot of the posts have been to complain about scalpers, a lack of supply, and people not able to find product. I mean, you go to a lot of Discord servers, you go to a lot of these communities, you'll see people not being able to buy Pokemon cards. And that hits my main point of scarcity. Like, scarcity of finding anything right now is impossible. And even during the hype of the 2021, 2020 train, I remember you could go into a store and still find stuff. You could still find Pokemon cards on the shelves for days. And this, like, we're reaching a point where nothing stays on the shelf for more than 24 hours. And that is really bad. So I know, you've seen some of my videos of people like returning during together ETBs, people who are constantly finding like some stock here and there, but like those are far and few between. You go to a Walmart, you go to a Best Buy, you go to a GameStop, you go to any store, and you'll find jack shit. And this is where I'm like, hey, I actually agree with this poster about how the hobby itself is going on a bad direction. And I mean in a way where it's like the only people that can get stuff or people who are like utterly committed to getting stuff. And I get that. That might be like, do the work, do the time, but like that means casual collectors, people who I think want to be part of the community, be part of the hobby, they're constantly getting screwed over. And that's not good. As a fan who wants to share their experience with other fans, like Pokemon cards are supposed to be shared, they're supposed to be like around and widely available. And you go on Pokemon Center right now, everything is sold out. Like, you go on Pokemon Center, and then you go Elite Trainer boxes, sold out. Every single Elite Trainer box is sold out. You go box sets, every single box set is sold out. You go to booster packs, every single booster pack on Pokemon Center is sold out. And like, I've never seen this bad. And I get it. Maybe you don't have to go to Pokemon Center, but like, Pokemon Center, it literally is one of the main distributors of Pokemon cards. Literally, in my opinion, they get more product than any other like retailer because it's straightly from the source, which is the Pokemon company. And everything Pokemon card related is sold out. Don't get me wrong. You go new releases, you can get plushies, you can get, other sorts of fun things here. But if you look for Pokemon cards, if you want Pokemon trading cards, everything is sold out. Everything besides the Pokemon Battle Academy, okay? And the calendar box. Everything else, in terms of like cards, completely sold out. Like Yo Tins again. Like I want to emphasize this. Like this is not normal. In fact, this for me is like, it means everyone's buying it. And people who don't give a shit about Pokemon cards maybe. And that's what I'm saying is that the grifters, the people who just resell, the investors, the scalpers, the guys who are flipping shippers, like there's a wide range of people who just buy Pokemon cards and they think they can make a quick dollar off of this. And we're getting to the point where you're buying everything and there's literally nothing available for people. And so, I live and breathe Pokemon. I love Pokemon. And for me to watch my hobby, to watch this community, and you'll see a lot of people post in my videos, they're not getting stuff. They see scalpers and people lining up in line, waiting for 10 hours. And we have this game of cat and mouse where scalpers and people are literally chasing down the vendor and going to Target and going to the Pokemon Center vending machines every hour of every day to get the restock. And if that's not a bad sign of the hobby, then I don't know what is. If the sign of the hobby is that nothing, and I mean nothing is available right now, that should kind of be indicative of how bad the hobby has become. And a lot of folks might disagree with me on this. They might say, well, this has been happening multiple times. This has happened before. Guys, we're in June now. This is June. And we're still seeing this shit. In fact, I guarantee you that every set until 30th anniversary is going to be completely gone. Because people think that they can make money off of Pokemon cards. And again, that's like, maybe, and if I'm wrong, I want to be wrong. I think out of anyone in this community, I want to be fucking wrong. I want to be seeing stuff readily available and stuff that you can buy wherever, whenever. And I want to be wrong that my prediction of how things are getting worse is wrong. So, I don't know. This is a little bit of a rant video because it's just me being reflective. I made a lot of content. I've been making videos every day. And unfortunately, a lot of these videos are not positive. I'm a positive guy. I believe in sharing Pokemon, enjoying Pokemon, and enjoying the hobby. But, I mean, we're so focused on making money and just trying to make a quick buck. And we're seeing, like, the worst in humanity in this. I mean, like, again, I've had reviewed so many embarrassing videos of scalpers embarrassing themselves in public. And it's like, they're doing this for something that I love and appreciate. And they honestly don't give a shit about Pokemon cards. And again, maybe you're an investor, or you're a scalper, or maybe you're something in between, or one of the either. Like, I have to ask, like, why Pokemon cards? Like, this is not worth your time. In fact, you can do other things to make money that isn't standing in line for 10 hours a day to get Pokemon cards. And so, I'm not trying to call out these guys because I've already done that 8 fucking billion times already. This Pokemon card market will return to normal. And we've seen it before. I do remember 2023 when the market finally like leveled and things were normal again. And I think it was right after Crown Zenith. That's when Scarlet and Violet really took off. And you can find Scarlet and Violet ETBs everywhere. And so I'm waiting for that moment, and I think a lot of folks are going to ask me, like, Kenny Bowler, why'd you stop doing restock videos? And the reality is that the restock videos, it was just me originally. So I was always the only person in line for Pokemon. And over time, I realized that more and more investor bros or scalpers starting getting in the hobby. And that's when I really took a turn like, I don't want to make these videos anymore. I'd rather just make commentary videos and enjoy what I can get my hands on online and not wait every morning at like 4 a.m. to get Pokemon cards. So in a way, I have to reflect as well and just recognize that a lot of my old content was me going to stores and looking what they had. And now it's like I see what the, I guess, the competition is, you know, like I see who else is going in, and these guys are not cool. They're not fun. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I've been around a lot of like scalpers before, people who just were there to make a quick buck. I think every store I've been to now, there's usually like 9 out of like 10 of those people are like, I'm here to scalp Pokemon cards. So that's what I'm saying about the hobby changing. That's what I'm saying, like how things have gotten worse, because the sneakerheads, the sneaker bros, they've truly been moved into the Pokemon card realm. And again, don't even get me started on the bots, the Discord servers that sells access to distributor or whatever. Like, it's just, again, it's like all of these guys care about, again, it's just about making money. And all these people who get in the hobby to flip Pokemon cards, they are really ruining it. They're ruining the Pokemon hobby for the rest of us. And that's why I want to make this video, is because I've called them out many times now. 9 out of 10 of my videos have been like, hey, these guys are shameful, these guys are clowns, it's embarrassing. But I think this video just truly does recognize that the situation's not ideal, and we're all suffering from it. And a lot of folks are going to watch this and they're going to say, what can we do about this? How can we solve this? And I don't know. I don't. I think if it were up to me, I think Pokemon Center, Pokemon Company should just do print to demand. Make as much as you possibly can. They've already been doing that, but it is not enough. But I mean, that's like the biggest one. Make it so that everyone can have it. And so right now, the incentive and the people who are really winning this is obviously Pokemon Company. They're winning it because they're making record profits. And in a way, scalpers. The scalpers, the people who are investing, the flip, rip and shippers, the flippers, all these guys, they're winning right now. So unfortunately, the reality is that the losers, the people who are not getting Pokemon cards. And for me, it's just like a state of the facts. Like, the people who don't get Pokemon cards, they're going to get frustrated. They might go into FOMO action. They buy from the scalpers, which is even worse in my opinion. And that's what we're heading right now. This is what's happening with our community. And this is difficult because I'm seeing the worst out of people. And it continues to keep going and going. So I wish that we can have all Pokemon cards. I wish that these scalpers could not be in our community. But at this point, a part of me just believes that they're going to be here for a while. And that this might be just the new normal. And they'll get bored eventually. I'm sure a new hobby or thing comes out. And, if you guys need financial advice, go buy crypto. Or, actually go get like a Roth IRA. But I guess right now, the easiest thing to do is sell Pokemon cards. So, and tell people who keep buying from these prices, if you buy a super premium collection box for $250, in my opinion, you're part of the problem too. Falling to the FOMO, buying prices that is above retail or MSRP is just insane for me to process. But end of the day, people are doing that. You go on eBay, you list these eBay settings, you go to completed and sold, and you'll see hundreds of Pokemon card products being sold by people and then bought by people. So, yeah, this video is a hard video to make, but I think that you get the point, you get the gist of it. I want your opinions on it, guys. Like, will it get better? What's going to happen? And yeah, no, this video is hard for me to make because at the end of the day, I'm seeing all your responses. I'm seeing all your comments. I'm seeing all these stories on Discords, Reddit, and of course on Twitter. And I'm just like, hey, I feel your pain. I can't get stuff too anymore. And I took pride in finding stuff for a while. So it's hard. And I think for me, my wallet is thankful that I'm not buying Pokemon cards every week now. But I do feel FOMO. I feel like, hey, I want this product. and I can't get this product. And then, of course, I see people with more than 30 boxes. So in a way, I understand how you guys are feeling as well, and it just sucks. So again, guys, it's your boy Kenny Boulder. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, and comment. And I really appreciate your support, y'all. Again, we hit a huge milestone of 6,000 subscribers. And so I really appreciate your support, guys. This channel has blown up a lot in the past few months. And I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna keep making videos about this, keep talking about Pokemon, keep exposing these scalpers and these clowns who are ruining our community. And let me know, guys. Obviously, DM me videos, DM me. You know, my Google email is on the page. So if you have content, I would love to cover it. And yeah, and of course, to fellow collaborators, influencers out there, I would love to collaborate as well. Obviously, I'm open for opportunities. So have a great day, guys. I appreciate you guys watching my channel. Take care, y'all.